And what's up? Welcome to the show. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Oh man, so we are into day two of the Iran war. What are you guys' thoughts? What do you guys think of this? Are you pro war or against the war? Did they have did they have it coming? Or is this just the cover up for the Epstein files? I think it's a little bit of a mixture of both. It's because like the timing is just king, man. It's just like, oh well, the Epstein files dropped and yada yada yada. Epstein, 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 and then war with Iran. Where's the Epstein files? I don't know. We don't talk about the Epstein files anymore. Now we're talking about grabbing some popcorn and watching the war, man. That's what we're talking about, man. We're talking about the oil, the oil crisis that might possibly happen here pretty soon. Because if you guys don't know, this is the Strait of Hormuz. This is the Strait of Hormuz. Product tankers to the Strait of Hormuz collapsed both directions, with Europe sourcing 45% of its jet fuel from the Middle East. The disruption poses a direct threat to the supply. The UAE has ordered the stock markets closed on Monday and Tuesday as the country reels from Iran's retaliatory missiles and drone strikes in a sign of growing economic disruption sweeping the Gulf. A U.S. official told Al Jazeera that 3 American soldiers killed the victims of Iranian attack. How about all the victims in Iran? Nah, they aren't victims. They are cannon fodder. They are just a means to an end, right? That's basically how it is. We are in the throes of war, and casualties are going to happen. And here we are. Here we are. We have this huge country, which is Iran, very mountainous, comparable to possibly the terrain of Afghanistan. Let's see. Google Maps. Let's see. What is the terrain of this? All right, let's go to Iran. Let's go to Iran. Iran's so far away. They gotta get away. So yeah, it is a very mountainous country, and it's pretty similar to Afghanistan. So you figure military bases. So it's it was a war that was going to happen no matter what. But it's crazy that since we're in it now, that we have to take into account that this is a big ass country, and they've been sitting on weapons for decades, and that they were getting regular shipments from China, as far as missiles and military systems, and Afghanistan's probably has probably given them some weapon systems from the U.S. pullout. So it's not like they don't have a military. Yes, they might lose their air force, they might lose their navy, but as far as boots on the ground, it's a nightmare. If you put boots on the ground, it is a nightmare because this is a big ass mountainous country, and we saw how the U.S. was unable to handle Afghanistan in the long run. But different president, different approach. I don't think we're gonna. If we were to go in there, I don't think we would be going in there for nation building. But the big thing is, like, does the U.S. even have the authority to do this? You know, how long can Trump keep this going without congressional approval. That was the big topic of the night tonight, as far as the Barnes, Viva Barnes. I was listening to their their podcast, Viva Fry. Um, Barnes were having a conversation about the legality of this entire situation and how long can the U.S. last in this campaign? Because we've given so much military assets to the Ukrainians for the past 2.5, 3 years, 5 years straight. Because the build up to the Ukrainian war, we were funneling weapons in there then, and we've up until Trump went in office, we've been funneling weapons in there for like 3, 4 years, constantly giving them money, weapons, artillery shells, everything. So we've had a constant supply of weapons flowing out of the United States' stockpile into the Ukrainian front, and a lot of those munitions have been blown up by the Russians. Hey, we need our missiles back. Yeah, can we get those back? We actually need them now. Not if you give us $900 billion. We need $1 trillion. So it's you also have to think about it as this too. We weren't the only ones giving our weapons to the Ukrainians. Western Europeans have been feeding them weapons this entire time too. So the reality is, how long can the West sustain a war of this caliber against a mountainous country without putting boots on the ground? Because supposedly the second Ayatollah has been killed. Supreme leader of Iran. Killing of Iran's supreme leader violates moral principles. Running Iran now. Supreme leader is dead. Supreme leader is dead. New leader. And after supreme leader killed, whose leader in a certain path, because they've already named a new supreme leader. Likely more U.S. deaths as Iran strikes continue until all goals are achieved. What are the goals? Regime change. Okay, so it's gonna be like a revolving door of ayatollahs. Is that where we're going with this? A complete revolving door, and you have a country that, as I said, has been sitting on these missile caches for decades, and they are so close to so much valuable real estate. Excuse me, I just ate, burped a little bit, but yeah, you have Saudi Arabia that wants to jump in, but they get most of their military systems from the United States. So how long can they stay in the battle? You have the UAE, which is also a part of the United States as far as weapons. How and so on and so forth. Iraq, and they're on the front line of this, and they'd been at war before, and we gave weapons to both sides back before like the 10-year war between Iran and Iraq. We gave weapons to both sides. So it's a crazy situation to, as I said, battle a country this large and assume that everything's going to be all right without putting boots on the ground. In the U.S., we do not have the stomach for boots on the ground. We've seen what that looks like for 20 years, and we're over it. And not to mention, Trump ran as the no war president. And this is not Venezuela. This thing is a monster. And what's stopping China from shipping missiles in? What's stopping Russia from shipping missiles in? Because China and Russia could use this as a proxy. They can use this as a proxy all day long, all day, all day, all day. And what are we going to do? Start sinking Chinese ships? We're going to start sinking Russian ships? And I don't think that's going to play out well. And we, it's initially, it's a good idea. But if this goes for more than 2 to 3 weeks, which it could, because this country's huge, it could get bad. It's going to be, if this lasts a month, it's going to be very, very bad for Trump. It's going to be very bad for the Republicans. It's going to be very bad for this country because we are going to deplete all of our military resources. We just will. And that's dangerous. It's a dangerous situation. And you could say, oh, well, we don't have the infrastructure to like build that scale of weapons and missiles and all that fun stuff, unless we turn on the car factories, which that is one of the strategic parts of having a automobile plants is they can be flipped over to make tanks. They can be flipped over to make missiles. These factories can be flipped in a drop of a dime into military production. That is why the U.S. is keeping the cheap Chinese cars out of the market, because it would basically crush the U.S. automotive industry. It would, and we can't have that. And that's why having a manufacturing base is so important, because it's a dual use. It's not only creating jobs during peacetime, but during wartime, they are able to produce weapons and tanks and aircraft and whatever you can think of. So we don't have a manufacturing base that could possibly keep up, including like the microchips and all the like the RAM and everything that's needed to maintain these weapon systems, to maintain these aircraft, to maintain these ships. We don't have the manufacturing base. We don't have the resources, because we've been getting a lot of those materials from China, and that's dangerous. It's very dangerous. That's why we need to rebuild our manufacturing in the United States. This is going to be, if this goes south, this is going to be a pure lesson. And wait, why don't you have manufacturing in your country, huh? Or this could be done by tomorrow. Who knows? We don't know. That's why we're just armchair internet quarterbacks, just basically sharing our opinion. That's all we're doing. That's all we got. You go on these live streams, it's just people's opinion. This is my opinion. I come from it from like a globalist perspective and a new world order perspective, where others just see it as like, I'm just showing you stuff, right? I'm just parroting what they're saying. Parrot what they're saying. No, we're talking about this as, this is what the globalists want. This is where they want to put a central bank. This is what they want to split up. They want to break up the BRICS. And they want to maintain the US dollar's hegemony. This is that's basically what this big old fight is all about. Not to mention who controls most of Congress, who controls most of the United States governmental bodies, the tiny hats, Israel. So we have turned into not only a London attack dog because they run the banks, we run the military. Italy, as far as the Catholic Church, runs the religion of the world, but we have turned into an Israeli attack dog. And so if Israel tells us to jump, we jump. Jump! For my love, jump it! You know? We jump for their love. We would sit there, yes, yes, yes. And we golf clap. They could kill 40,000 people, which upwards they they did in Palestine, like maybe like a closer to a hundred plus thousand people, and we gave them weapons for it. We gave them the weapons to level Palestine. We are giving them weapons to feed their Iron Dome, and that is what we do. We give this tiny country anything and everything it ever wanted because they have an epic guilt trip from World War II, and rightfully so. So, yes, this is what we're protecting right here. Greater Israel that wants to pop out, that wants to pop out here, but that is called the Greater Israel Project. And the big contender that is in the way of the Greater Israel Project is Iran. So if you're in Iraq, you're looking over the sky and you're just seeing volleys after volleys from from Iran flowing into into the West Bank, into Israel, into this entire country, and it's just that has to be stressful. You're just looking up. Oh, here comes another volley. Wow, it's nuts, just nuts, and we are living history. Because okay, what we got here? Hold that up, and oh yeah, here we go. So, but here we go. So according to Google, the war rages. How long can Israel fend off missiles? Based on analysis 2025, it can last for 10 to 12 days before facing critical shortages of interceptors, Arrow, and the THAAD system without rapid U.S. resupply. Well, as the resupply, we're having to resupply ourselves constantly. Military planes in the sky today, right now. And track aircraft live. So we go here, and look at all the planes in the sky right now. Look at all the planes in the sky. It's always amazing to see how many planes are in the sky. What's that? So how do we do this? I don't really use this very often. No thanks. Pop up. Military planes flying. Be on the track. Federal aviation. Spirit strike Iran long range missiles. We're doing it live, folks. We're doing it live. But yes, 10 to 12 days. I'll figure that out the next stream. Before facing critical shortages. So if Iran continues to lob missiles, if they continue, if Hamas continues to lob missiles, which They're ta- they're attacking Lebanon right now to get at Hamas right now. So they're attacking Lebanon because Hamas is lobbing missiles into, which which is a good idea on their side because it just wears down all of the Iron Dome and shields for to make it possible for the Iranian missiles to actually penetrate and actually land because it can only fight off so much at one time. So yes, how much can these countries stomach this war? How much can they stomach? Because United Arab Emirates, Dubai, it's a beautiful place. They've built they've they built some of the most beautiful cities in the entire world. Do they want to see them blown up? Because they only have so much. Because they only have so much military in the first place, also. And then excuse me, you have Yemen, which is very silent right now. But what's stopping Yemen from jumping in and starting to attack Saudi Arabia again? Because Yemen was getting a lot of its military assets from Iran. So what's stopping a shadow fleet from going all the way down here and going into Yemen and then have them start firing missiles? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing is stopping that from happening. Because if you get so you have the Strait of Hormuz shut down right now. What if Yemen shut this down? Hmm? What if Yemen went in and they started firing missiles here and sinking ships right here? Look how small that is. Look how small that is. And the canal runs right through here. The Suez Canal runs right through here. In reality, all they would have to do is launch a heavy missile barrage and take this out. Then, if they were to take this out, the U.S. would have a hard time refueling and moving their navy, and then it would also cut off the European countries from being able to bring in their navy. Highly doubt that's going to happen, but that is a possibility. If you were to launch maybe 10 or 20 supersonics right here, they couldn't shoot them down, and this would be closed. It'd be done. And then you close this down, you sink a bunch of ships here with supersonics, because Iran does have supersonic missiles. They do have supersonics, and we saw them being able to penetrate the Israeli Iron Dome. We saw that in real time. Those are the missiles that got through. They got through the Iron Dome with supersonics. So if you launch supersonics here, that'd be insane. That would just be devastating. And then it would be, I don't even know. That would be crazy because it would cut off it would cut off the main shipping lane to the United States, because they would have to go all the way around the Horn. They'd have to go all the way around the Horn. Oh, if the Suez Canal was cut off. Or they would have to come all the way down through here. Instead of bada bing, bada boom. Straight in through. Bada bing, bada boom. Look how tiny that is. It's just so crazy how so much trade and so many assets go through this little sliver of land right here. And this little sliver of land right here likes to pick fights with everybody around it. And whenever they get in too much trouble, we come in and we have to bail them out. It's like a bad frat buddy that you have to show up for constantly. That likes to walk up to like 10 guys at once, be like, "Hey, you want to fight?" He starts this big old bar fight, and you have to bail him out every single time. That is what Israel is. He is the friend that won't stop fighting, but you always have to bail him out because he's your friend, right? Yes, it's like the dude on the couch. And as we know, it's getting really old. It's getting old. It's getting exhausting. How long have we gone to? 26 minutes. Well, the beat goes on, and we are living history, as I said. X. Let's see what we got here. There's no way someone actually caught this on camera. Huh, that's pretty cool. Wow. That is pretty cool. Let's look at Iran. Let's see, Iran so far away. Alright, so technically 15 different countries in the military, getting turned into One Piece anime short series. Indie creators. Trump, yay. Breaking Trump says Iran war timeline is around 4 weeks or so. Okay. Then it's going to be 2 months. Imminent threats include military bases close to Iran. Retreat if you support Iran. Iran so far. Oh, I just can't stop singing that song. It's so funny. I got a copyright, almost a copyright strike yesterday for the stream for playing The Wizard of Oz Munchkin. The Wicked Witch is dead. So funny. But anyway, this is just gonna keep going, and then refresh. Then what happened? Iran war. It's so trending right now. It's like so trending. It's like, this is like so trending. Like, it has like so many missiles. Oh my god. Oh, it's the flying wing. Oh, joins war against Israel. They fire rockets on Israel. As I said, they wear down their missile system. It could get ugly for Israel really quick. One of us. Breaking news, growing suspicion that Iran used cluster munitions in their attacks against Israel. Okay. What, like, hit him on the hand. Naughty. Israel attacks Lebanon, Hezbollah retaliation attacks on Israel, battle on dual fronts, Operation Roaring Lion. Wow, kitty. Roaring Lion, like a little kitten. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. You guys have a wonderful night. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Pass it on. Like what I do, feel free to share it. All right. Okay, bye everybody.